Guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about Section 8. Now, that is when you're renting your property to people that's on food stamps, that's relying on the government, and you get a bad stigma. But the only good thing about it is you don't have to worry about missing payments at all because the government is paying you when you rent out to Section 8 homeowners. But the bad thing about it is the quality of people, if you don't screen it correctly, the quality of people is getting a bad rep to rent out to Section 8 people because they're going to destroy your home. So we're going to take a look at a couple of rental properties that people own that they're going to rent out to Section 8 renters, and we're going to see how they did with their property. Now, the short story is that they are bad. They're horrible at taking care of your property. They're going to put holes in your walls, break windows, break the plumbing, flush the wrong thing down the toilet, and they're just going to completely mess up your house. But on the slim chance that you do get a good screening and you do get some good renters inside of your place that you're renting out, then you get consistent income, high paying income from the government, and you're going to receive that check every single month and you don't have to worry about anything at all. In fact, you will have someone inside your property for as long as it's on Section 8 and you don't have to worry about missing any payments, and you'll make a little bit more from renting it out to Section 8 than you would from renting it out regularly. Now, guys, I do need you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Right now, 85% of you people that are watching are not subscribed to this channel. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's flip this number from 85% of you subscribe and 15% are not subscribed. And when it comes to the notification bell, hit that notification bell. Right now, we're right in the middle on all notifications. We had it at 15%. Let's try to get it up to 30%. But now let's get back to this video.
Do Section 8 tenants destroy properties? You be the judge. This four-bedroom house was purchased in Philly at auction for $11,000 with a credit card.
That's a good price.
Renovation cost $35,000. The rent was $1,300 a month. She lived here for 2 years. Oh, I hate when they leave their animals.
What you mean? Wait, what you mean you hate when they leave their animals? How many times have you rented out to someone in Section 8 and they left their animals? Unless you talking about they left behind rats and roaches behind or something, but like people are just leaving their dogs and cats when they up and move, they just leave the animal there. What do you, man? That I think he might just be saying so. I can't see anybody just leaving their animals. That's crazy.
Sprayed off on me in case there were fleas. $1,300 for 24 months is $17,200 of income for 2 years. Expenses were $17,000. She left a mess. Doors off the hinges, soiled carpets and walls. I'll spend $4,000 fixing and replacing. Then I'm listing it for sale for $150,000.
So he did come up on getting that house, but unfortunately he had to deal with soiled carpet. Why are you ripping the doors off the hinges? I'm so confused on what are you doing where you have to rip the doors off the hinges. I understand some people get in trouble and say, oh, I'm going to take the doors off the hinges if you get in trouble, but they're being ripped off like they're horseplay inside the house. Are you wrestling inside the house? What's going on? If y'all have ever rented out to Section 8 people, let me know down in the comment section, how was your experience renting out to Section 8 homeowners? But they lived inside there for 2 years. It looked like it, for 2 years, that's how much damage you done to the house right after he spent $35,000 fixing it up. So he spent $35,000 fixing it up. He bought it for $11,000. So he got some money. He got some money in there. It was freshly renovated. So you come in 2 years and mess up all of that. But he was making around like $1,300 a month, and he had to spend $4,000 in repairs. So he did make a little bit of profit right there. But the most profit he's gonna get is from selling the house for $150,000. So he did end up coming out top. So while the house was sitting there gaining value over time, he was still getting a little bit of rental income from it. So he bought it from auction, rented it out for 2 years, let the value of the land, let the value of the house go up to $150,000. Then he sold it, but he did have to put in $35,000 in repairs and then another $4,000 in repairs after the Section 8 renters came in. So that's not a good situation. That would definitely scare someone out from renting to Section 8 homeowners. Let's take another look at a few more videos.
Just leaving one of our Section 8 tenants properties, and I will show you what their house looks like after living there almost a year now. And this is especially for all you people who are like, Section 8 tenants are going to destroy your home. They're not.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's pretty good, right? How long she said that been in there? Okay, they got a nice little setup. Second property inspection. Okay.
If you screen them well, just like you should any tenant, because any tenant, whether they're Section 8 or market rate, can mess up your property if you don't choose them well.
So yeah, with she's right. With any tenant can mess up your house. Trust me, I've seen it. I've been there. I've done it. Any tenant can mess up your house. So the key part is screening, especially if you're screening for Section 8 renters that has that negative stigma. Now, as you guys can see, she looked at 2 different properties with Section 8, and they both look perfectly fine. The key thing is screening. So it's not about our Section 8 renters bad people. Regular renters are bad people. So you really have to look at the screening. Do they have a family? Do they have pets? Are pets not supposed to be there? And then you have to sit down and look at their complete screening. It's almost like a job interview, and then you pick your very best candidate to put inside your house. You can't just say, oh, okay, I'm in a rush. You was the only 3 people that applied. Let's go ahead and get one of you in there. No, you have to do the perfect screening. It could take weeks. It could take months. Hopefully it don't take months, but it could take weeks until you get somebody in there that you're comfortable. Some people do a Section 8. They list it on the market. First thing that pop up, the government will put somebody in there for you. You don't even meet the people, and they're going to tear up your house because the government just going to click a button. Bam, they in there. But if you do your own screening to make sure you get the right tenant in there, you should be fine. As you guys can see, they took care of her house, but there are a lot more horror stories out there than there is good stories. Let's take a look at a couple more videos. Section 8 pays your $3,000. That's really not that bad, guys. It looked like a kid was playing in the sink, as kids do. The house is not really that messed up. At least they still got the doors on the hinges. But it looks like someone was just playing inside the sink, as kids do, and you had to call someone over. But $3,000 a month rent, hey, you winning, my boy. I would gladly fix a plumbing with some tissue in there for $3,000 a month rent. That's winning. You know, put some drain on down there, go on about your day. But at least they still got the doors on the hinges. Don't look like there's any holes in the wall. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen with regular renters. That's gonna happen with Section 8 renters. That's not that bad. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section.
If you ever thought about getting a property and doing Section 8 because it's guaranteed money, you might want to think twice after watching this video. Of course, Section 8 is a government-backed entity, so the money is guaranteed. However, Section 8 has an unfortunate reputation for leaving your property in an awful condition when they leave, and this is one of those times. I'm going to tell you how this Section 8 client unfortunately left one of my properties in awful shape.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's disgusting.
Carpets tore up.
Okay, you're gonna need new carpets. You're gonna need a exterminator. Like, you gotta bomb the whole house. Like, let me not say that on YouTube. You gotta fumigate the whole house.
Took down the smoke detectors.
They took the smoke detectors.
This is bad. This is awful. Dog scratches for a dog that wasn't supposed to be here.
See, that's what I'm
And
saying.
I do want to say, not everybody under Section 8 is like that. And you can have regular tenants who leave your property like that. So it's not just all Section 8. But Section 8 does have that reputation for people leaving your property in shambles. So the entity of Section 8, they do need to do a better job at vetting who they bring in. They need a better process to ensure that the house is still up to code, still up to standard. Because that just shouldn't happen.
See, that's one thing about me. If I already know that if I'm Section 8 and I'm renting out, someone is always going to look at me bad way, I'm going to do my best to prove them wrong. Oh, no, I'm not going to leave your house in shambles and anything like that, because you already expect that from me. In fact, when you get your house back, it's going to look at the exact same or better. I might, you know what I'm saying, get your carpet clean before you even come back and get your house. It's going to be that or better when you come back and pick it up, so we could get rid of that negative stigma about Section 8 renters. But some people just buy inside the stereotyping. You can't run from it. But just because they're buying inside the stereotype, like he said, it can happen whether if you Section 8 or just a regular renter. You can mess it up. But those roaches crawling all through, and then they had the little rat trap, and it was just full of roaches. That is disgusting. And dude, dog, okay, let me know. That is disgusting. I mean, like, how do you even have guests come over and you got, okay, obviously the obvious question is you don't have guests come over, but how do you get to the point to where you have that many roaches? Man, that was bad. And then you take you steal the fire alarm detector, the smoke detector. Why are you taking that? And then you got a couple holes in the walls. What's the deal with holes in the walls? Why are people putting so many holes in the walls? I understand that you might hang a painting or something like that, but that's a little screw. They be putting straight up elbows into the walls. I don't understand. I'm confused on why there's elbows inside the walls. But right now, it's looking like it's not good to rent out to Section 8 homeowners. I need to start a poll to see what you guys think about which one down in the description.
This is Goodman, back with another Section 8! All right, one of my tenants has an inspection, so let's get into it and see what we got. So we have a bunch of flooring just sitting here on the ground, and then we walk in the living room. There's no flooring on the living room ground. It's been used as firewood because there's no heat.
Dog, they pulled up the wood flooring and used the wood flooring as firewood. I've never heard of anything so ghetto, but that is ghetto. That's beyond. That is horrible. Section 8ers, y'all doing it like that, using floorboards as firewood. Oh man, that's bad.
Electricity or water running in this house. And in the kitchen, we don't have a refrigerator anymore or a stove. And I asked the tenant, where is it? She said, I don't know. I don't know where they went. And I said, that's absolutely crazy. And yes, someone does actually live here at this exact moment. Like, that bed is being used to sleep on. This is one of the bedrooms.
No way no one lives there. First of all, she's talking about, I don't know where the refrigerator went. I don't know where the dryer. I don't know where the stove. I don't know where it went. Shut up. You sold it. They got to be crackheads. They got to be drug, heroin. Look, it's already turning into a crack house, bro, because ain't no way you sell the refrigerator, you sell the stove to the point to where you have to use the floorboards for firewood. Nah, I'm taking you to court, bro. I know you ain't got nothing to sue for, but I'm taking you to court, or you gonna have to see me. Like, real talk. And there's someone currently living there, but at the end of the day, no matter how bad that house look, he's getting a check. But they're gonna run that house into the ground, and he got to get them out of there ASAP.
I would say we have a roof leak, but no, it's because there was a fire in here because they're using this room to heat the house with kerosene and all other things. Flooring is missing in this bedroom, and there's also a dead bird on the ground. Don't know where that came from, but that's okay. So next bedroom, looks fine. You know, this is a-okay. And then we've got the bathroom. All right, nice smells because we can't flush the toilet because there's no water on. Because there's no power on, has been on for like 2 years now. We have to go get an inspection to get the power back on. But yes, like I said, I'm just gonna keep emphasizing, someone lives here. Someone's just living in this condition. That's what she does. She just lives here like this. I don't know. At this point, so far gone.
Someone lives. Oh no. Someone lives. There's no water, no electricity. That's no.
Kind of let it go until someone kicks her out. And we'll wait for that to happen. But anyway, here's the backyard. Just make sure you go check on your tenants sometimes, because I didn't, and this is what happens. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
That's horrible. There's no
Come
way.
with us as we go evict our Section 8 tenant.
Listen, I would rather live in jail. Nah, let me not say that. I mean, in jail, you got running water, you got food, you got heat sometimes, you got electricity sometimes. But, dude, the way she's living, I know they got to be a crackhead or heroin or something. Ain't no way there's someone currently living there. I would love to see how they get things done. They had a shower with no water running for 2 years. So that's disgusting. All right, let's go, bitch.
Today we're heading to our first rental property after the recent eviction of our tenant. There are many pros and cons to having a Section 8 tenant, but the result of this one was extremely bad. After receiving multiple violations from our HOA, we had to take a look at the property and see what was actually wrong with it. And once we pulled up, it was devastating.
She was complaining of rats and all that kind of stuff, and clearly you can see why there were rats, because she didn't really care to actually throw the trash out. She threw the trash into the backyard. It's not a surprise that one would see rats.
In all of her
You just throw the trash in the backyard other than taking the trash out, and then you complain about rats. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What you gonna do right here is gonna cause this to happen. I'm like, dog, you tripping. These people do things. Let me not say these people. These certain Section 8 renters are doing things that I would have never thought to have done in a million years. And every new video I watch still surprises me. Even this video currently. Let's keep watching.
I'm living there, she hadn't cut the grass once. Look how bad this lot looked compared to the rest.
Oh man, listen, if I would have lived next to this yard and my yard looked as good as that yard do right there compared to the one on the left, nah. I would have been called HOA. I would have been got these people kicked out, because that is ridiculous. They're gonna attract rats to the home next door to it, which is no. We fight. Let me cut your grass, because I can't live next door to someone's yard that looks like that. Let me go ahead and cut your grass while I'm at it, because that's disgusting.
The community. It's no wonder we got many violations for this. So that brings us to today. We had the trash taken out, the grass cut, and we were just there to put a notice of abandonment on the property as our last attempt to communicate with this woman since she'd gone off the radar. If you want to see what happens once we get the keys and go inside and then hit that follow button, stick around.
Now, so he's doing all the steps that he needed to do to get on here to get her up out that thing. So once he get up out of there, that's the outside of the house. That's the outside of the house. I can only imagine what the inside of the house looked like, because he was talking about rats and she was complaining about rats. But once he's going to get those kids, he's getting her out of there. And I'm pretty sure the next time he's been in there, he's going to want to do a very good screening to get a very good person in there. Guys, let me know down in the comment section, would you rent out to Section 8 renters? Not all of them are bad. They get a bad negative. These are cherry picked videos, right? I'm pretty sure there's way more Section 8 renters that are good than are bad, but they do get a negative stereotype, because when they're bad, they're bad. I'm talking about horribly bad, to like rats, roaches, doors, holes in the walls, never taking out trash, no running water, stole your refrigerator, picked up the floorboards and used that as heat. That's crackhead activities right there. But let me know down in the comment section, would you rent out to a Section 8 renter if you could get $3,000 a month in rent, or would you just rent out and do a good screening to regular renters and bring in around like $1,800 a month in rent? Let me know, what would you do down in the comment section. But guys, if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button, because that helps out this channel more than you guys can possibly even imagine. And if you made it to the end of this video and you want to pick up some free stocks, I'm gonna leave a link to Moo down in the description. Right now, just from getting started with Moo, you could deposit up to $100 and you could get up to 30 free stocks. And with those free stocks you could decide to use the brokerage platform, or you could sell all 30 of those free stocks and withdraw all of your money. Guys, it's literally free money. That's how I got started inside the stock market. Do not miss out on that amazing opportunity. But other than that, guys, I'm Zeke, bringing you Dream Green Conversations, and I'm out. Peace.